Hi, I'm Lulu Cook from Gut Feeling. I'm really excited to be talking to you today about, about a way you can easily and effectively upgrade your habits and get to where you want to be with your health and mood and habits. But we're going to begin by talking about the surprising way that you're holding yourself back. And I'm guessing this might be true for you because it's true of heaps of the clients that I work with. These are smart, capable, awesome people who have so much good going on in their lives. And then they come to me and they want to elevate things. They want to get a hold of some habit, get something healthy and new put in place, or maybe let go of something that isn't working for them, get back in control of a habit that's gotten a little out of hand. And by all means, they should be able to do it. These are successful people, so there's no reason to think they couldn't do this, except they've tried many times, typically with these habits, whether it's food habits, alcohol habits, even exercise, time management, whatever it may be that is a habit of well-being for you, meditation, all of these. Tried many times and can't quite get a hold of it. This might be what's holding you back. This might be the reason why. It's because your words create your stories. Your words create your habits. And what this means is that you need to be really aware of what you're saying about who you are and what your habits are if you want to be able to effectively change them. And once you make that switch, it gets so much easier to be able to make the changes you want to make. So let's talk through the simple process that I use with my clients to help them make that transformation. And this is the work that comes before it's time to start trying to do anything different. There's no point going and doing something different if you're still telling yourself self-sabotaging stories, because it's not really going to work, or even if it does, it's not going to work for long. So step one is just to notice the words that you're saying to yourself and to other people about what those habits are, about who you are. So I'll give you an example, and these are real examples drawn from people I work with. One is a woman who is very successful in a high-powered corporate career. She wants to get control of her alcohol consumption. It's a little bit more than she's comfortable with. She's not in any kind of dire straits per se, but it's more than she's comfortable with. She wants to get control of it. But what she tells me about it is, I'm just no fun if I don't drink. Okay. So on the one hand, she wants to make the change. And on the other hand, that's the belief she's telling herself about it. Another person wants to be able to make some friends and make more connections, start to have that supportive network of people around them that are healthy and inspiring and caring. You know, the kind of friendship circles, the tribe we all want. But what this person says to me is, I just don't like myself very much. Which, again, you know, on the one hand, here's this goal. I really want to connect with other people and make these caring connections and friendships. But on the other hand, I don't like myself very much. Excuse me. Which might leave you thinking, well, why would anybody else want to hang out with you either? I swear my mother told me that when I was little. Well, then why would anybody else want to hang out with you if you don't like yourself? And it's so true. So, you know, we have to begin with noticing the words that we're saying about ourselves and about our habits. We don't have to change anything about it yet. First, it's just daylighting these kind of constant threads that are running in the back of our awareness, the back of our consciousness, that are driving how we're acting and interacting with the world. So you can set your intention in the morning to do that, write about it in your journal, set a reminder to go off during the day on your cell phone and check randomly, hey, what are the stories I'm telling right now? Really just beginning to notice and then writing them down when you become aware of them during the day so you can check on them later. Step one, notice the words. Step two, question the story. For this one, once you've identified the common themes for you, and they're different for everybody, your story might not be the one of the person who wants to drink less alcohol. Your story might not be the one of the person who doesn't like themselves. Your story might be something different, some other place, like, oh, I want to eat healthy, but I don't like the taste of healthy foods. Whatever it is. Once you identify your common stories, really bringing an attitude of questioning to them, not just asking, is it true? Relying on Byron Katie's rubric around, is it true? Is it absolutely true? Can you know without doubt that it's true? But also asking just simply, is this story helping me or not? Are these words moving me toward my goal, toward my well-being, toward my energy, toward what I'm wanting to create in my life, or not? And if they don't serve, if they're not helping, then we want to nip them in the bud. So here's the next step then. We've decided this particular storyline isn't helping create the life we want, but we can't just decide to stop thinking it, or decide to stop repeating it, decide to stop believing it. We've got to go to the emotions that lie underneath that storyline. And this part, I'm not going to tell you, is easy. It takes ferocious courage to be able to feel underneath that storyline to what the emotional experience is. It's typically pretty small and contracted. There could be a lot of shame in that experience, that emotional feeling that lies underneath the words. And this is the magic point. This is the transformation point, the ability to go down to that level and allow those feelings to be felt rather than stuffing them, rather than plastering them over with a glib little story we tell about how much we suck and how we can't achieve what we want to achieve. Feeling those feelings. Oof. So that's step 3, is to go deeper and actually feel the emotions that lie underneath that repetitive story we're telling. That necessitates step 4, which is to play nicely. Absolutely, this is tender terrain. Our hearts hurt. My heart never wants to go to that place where I feel tiny and small and scared. And, in the words of the one person I work with, it feels like I don't like myself. It feels like I'm not likable and not lovable. Well, that's not actually a feeling, right? Those are words. You can't feel unlikable. The feelings are those body sensations. And the body sensations that go with the story, I don't like myself, or I'm no fun if I don't drink, or I'm empty inside, and so I have to eat and eat and eat and eat to try to fill up my emptiness. The emotions that go with that can be so tender and vulnerable and raw feeling. And for me, they can feel like they're going to just take me out and avalanche me, and I won't be able to get back. You can get back. You have to be so gentle and tender with yourself here. Lots of compassion practice, hands on your heart, holding your own hand, really being so tender and so slow, enlisting allies, bringing in a friend or a mentor or a counselor or a coach to help you with this part, and just being really, really tender with yourself. So play nicely. We're not here to beat ourselves up into having new habits. We're here to love ourselves up into having new habits. So that's step 4. We've noticed the words that we're saying to ourselves and our others. We're questioning the story. We're going deeper to the emotional level. We're trying to be gentle and tender with ourselves at that level. And then step 5, we get to rewrite the story. And this part is fun. It's flexible, it's fluid, it's awesome. You get to just decide what's a better story to tell. When I hear that same old script pop up in my head, what would be a more empowering story to tell that would move me toward my goal, toward the life I want to create? Important note here, you don't have to believe the alternate story yet. All you're doing is directing your mind and directing your words toward a more positive possibility. You don't have to believe it's going to happen. You don't have to believe you deserve it. None of that. You're just replacing the negative, definitely not useful thought train with something that's potentially helpful and definitely not as harmful. So I'm no fun if I'm not drinking. You choose something that feels more empowering for you. Like, I feel great when I'm clear, and when I feel great, I'm fun to be around. The story about I don't like healthy foods. That story could just be, I'm learning how to nourish myself in a way that creates more energy for my body. I'm learning to try and like new kinds of food. Anything. There's no right or wrong here. You get to make it up yourself. The key thing is to decide in advance what story you're going to replace the old one with, so that the next time you hear yourself saying to someone, oh, I'm trying to, I was trying to think of a creative new example, but I'll just stick with the ones I've been using. I'm trying to get control of my drinking, but I'm just no fun if I'm not drinking. The next time you hear yourself say that, you can actually just nip it in the bud and say, wait, you know what? I'm learning to be clear and to show up with clarity in my life, because when I'm clear, I feel good, and when I feel good, I'm fun. It's going to feel awkward at first. You're going to put the new story out there and feel like it's awkward and you're saying something you don't believe. That's totally okay. That's totally okay. You are aligning your conscious and your subconscious levels every single time you do that. You're building different neural connections in your mind every time you do that. And you're learning to see new possibilities for yourself instead of the same old story you've been telling that has not been getting you the results you want. So I really encourage you to try it. And I know you can do it. And I know it takes, it's a really simple 5 steps, but it takes the following through with it and getting through the awkwardness and getting through the tender bits and getting through the rocky bits. But I know that you can do it. Please let me know if you give it a try. Tell me how you're going with making those shifts in your words that are ultimately going to support the shifts in the actual habits that you're living. So again, the 5 steps you're going to try are to notice the words you're saying to yourself and others about you, about your habits and the changes you want to make. Notice the words. Question the story. Are these words helping me get to where I want to go, or are they slowing me down? So if they're slowing me down, you go deeper. You feel the feelings that are connected with those words, and you play nicely. You try to be gentle with yourself while you're doing it. And then when you have a little bit of clarity and a little bit of calm around all that, you choose a different story to tell next time you hear that broken tape coming out of your mouth. So those are the 5 steps, simple, but they require doing them if you want them to work. So thanks so much for your attention. Thanks so much for your inspirational example of making positive changes in your life and just getting on that horse and trying again to do it again. Definitely inspired by all of you guys. Thank you.